Hi, welcome to another episode of Sasha's Guilt-Free Pleasures, where all of the food is nutritious and delicious. Today, we're making a special heart-healthy meal featuring pork, a salad, and creme brulee, all with heart-healthy nutrition. This is Ananda Leela, and although she won't be joining us for the cooking today, she's a big part of the process and my taste tester. So let's get started. So we're about to cook a boneless pork shoulder with an apricot glaze. The first step is to take the pork and pound it between some plastic wrap. This is a nice Friday dinner because you can take all the stress out from the week on the pork. I'm pounding it till it's nice and thin, about half of the original thickness. I'm going to set that aside for now and start with the marinade. So we have some garlic. So I've just added some pre-minced garlic from Gourmet Garden. It's very convenient. And I'm adding some low sugar apricot jam. Apricots have a high amount of potassium, and potassium is a mineral that's extremely good for heart health and healthy bones and muscles. Potassium can help normalize blood pressure and increase your overall heart health. I'm also adding some ground turmeric. Turmeric has anti-inflammatory properties and it's very good for healthy joints. I'm also adding some lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to mix this all up in my bowl. My marinade. Turmeric has a really interesting flavor that goes well with some surprising pairings. It goes really well with sweet flavors like this apricot jam. It also goes well in savory flavors. It's traditionally an Indian spice, so it goes well in Indian foods as well. Adding a little bit of pepper and salt. Okay, and our marinade is ready. I'm also going to salt and pepper the pork. This is a free-range pork shoulder. This pork was pasture raised. So that's what you should look for if you care about the highest quality of humane treatment of animals, as well as the highest nutritional content. in your food, because pasture-raised meat has really the best nutrition on a natural diet. And it's basically what you think of when you think of happy, free-range animals in a grassy field. That if that's the kind of meat you want to eat, look for a pastured label. Okay, so I'm adding the pork in with the marinade into this plastic bag so it can be fully covered. I'm going to seal up the plastic bag and shake it around so it's fully covered in the marinade. In addition to having a great flavor, this also has a nice bright color, which is really beautiful. Okay, we're going to let that sit for at least 10 minutes and up to 12 hours or overnight. So let's go pop this in the fridge and move on to our salad.
Hi, I'm Todd Allen Lowe from Allen's Pantry. Stay tuned for more Foodie TV.
So we're going to make a yummy root vegetable salad poached in butter to go with our pork. I'm going to start by melting some of this grass-fed butter in the pan. Now, this pastured butter from Organic Valley is a really excellent choice, and it's widely available in a lot of supermarkets across the country. Pastured butter is superior in humane standards as well as in nutritional standards. So I always use pastured butter when I cook with butter. So we're melting the butter over low heat in the pan. So we have 3 varieties of root vegetables here. Beets, which are very high in minerals. We have radishes, which are great detoxing food. And we have carrots, which are high in vitamin A or beta carotene. So we're going to start putting these into our butter. And letting these cook and poach over medium-low heat. I'm also going to add this convenient garlic paste and a pinch of salt. So I'm letting these cook until they're soft but not mushy. We just want them to be nice and tender and well cooked, but still have some firmness to them. So we're using root vegetables because they poach really nicely and maintain a nice texture when we cook them. And that goes really well with the rest of our dishes here. And We have a variety of flavors in this particular salad. We have the carrots and the radishes and the beets. And each of them get a little sweeter when cooked, and yet they still maintain their own flavor. The beets are a little bit earthy, the radishes are a little bit bitter, and the carrots are more sweet when they're cooked. So it's a nice range of flavors here in this salad. And they're getting close to done. So in the last minute or so, what we're going to do is add some apple cider vinegar. This has a nice tart flavor and just brings together all the flavors of the sweetness really well. So we're going to add that, toss the vegetables a little bit more to incorporate the flavors, and let it cook another minute or so. In this meal, these vegetables with the pork, we have a lot of vitamin A. There are two forms of vitamin A. One is the plant-based form, which we have here in our root vegetables, and the other is the form that's found in meat and butter. So we have that in our pork and our grass-fed butter. And vitamin A is excellent for vision, that's well known. It's also really great for skin, teeth, and bone health. So it's an excellent vitamin to make sure you get a lot of in your diet. Okay, and this is done. We're going to remove it from the heat. And toss it into a bowl. We're going to save the juice from the pan. That's going to be part of finishing our meal in our salad. It's part of the salad dressing. We've got some beautiful colors here. Orange, red. It smells delicious too. I love particularly radishes poached in butter are just so delicious. They really take on a whole different flavor from raw radishes, which are really nice and bitter when they're fresh. And then when they're poached in butter, they just have this amazing savory flavor. And it's really a great way. You can remember this trick, and it's just a great way to spice up any dish and make it a little fancier. Adding poached radishes and butter to a quick meal just adds a whole classy flavor that makes it seem more gourmet and time-consuming than it really was. So now I'm drizzling the salad with some honey to bring together the sweetness of our vegetables here. I'm also going to add a little bit extra apple cider vinegar here. It has a different flavor when it's raw and cooked. And I'm adding these chopped apricots. They're dried apricots, which we chopped and added to the salad. I'm also sprinkling a little bit more of our sea salt on. Salt brings out other flavors, including sweet. So that's why it's important to put at least a little bit of salt in everything we make. So our salad is complete and it's beautiful and smells delicious. We are going to set aside the pan juices in a bowl for later. And now that our salad is complete, it's time to move on to our next guilt-free pleasure.
Hi, I'm Molly Bravo. Welcome to Organicopia, the total organic experience, and you're watching Foodie TV.
So now I'm going to teach you how to make a guilt-free, dairy-free creme brulee. Creme brulee is a really luxurious and delicious dessert, and it's really hard to get dairy-free. So I created this dairy-free creme brulee recipe, which you can make at home. And we're going to demystify the creme brulee process. So I'm going to start by working with a whole vanilla bean. You can use vanilla extract as well, but the flavor from a fresh whole vanilla bean is superior. And you can use it in a variety of ways. So we're going to start by opening the vanilla bean. By slicing a nice long slice in the center. Okay, and the vanilla bean is filled with these fine seeds. And we're opening up the bean, and what we want to do actually is scrape out the seeds, because the inside of the bean is where all the flavor is. Okay, and here I have canned coconut milk. That's going to be the cream in our creme brulee. And you want to use full fat coconut milk for this recipe. And we're adding it to this pan. It's going to be simmered over low heat. And we're going to just gently scrape the vanilla bean seeds out from the center of the bean. They look like this. And we're adding those seeds to our cream mixture. So I scraped out one side of the bean, and I'm scraping out the other side. And I can smell it already. It smells just a lot more rich than vanilla extract. So I know the flavor is going to be very good. I'm also putting the pod of the vanilla bean into our mixture as well. So as this heats up, what's happening is the vanilla bean flavor is infusing into the cream, much like when you put tea or flowers or herbs in hot water. That's called an infusion. So you can also put other flavors into here. I like putting lavender flower or rose petals to just add a really unique flavor into the creme brulee. So that's going onto our low heat. And here we have some honey. We want to put 2 tablespoons of honey in there. And I'm mixing it up so it's well blended. Over here, we have a pot of boiling water. That's going to be for later in the cooking process. But we're bringing that to a boil as this is warming up. So we want to warm the cream just to the most gentle simmer. We definitely don't want to boil it. And again, this is coconut cream. Coconut cream, vanilla, and honey. So while that's warming, I'm going to whisk up these 2 egg yolks. They've been separated from the whites, and some sugar. We are also using coconut sugar for this. So coconut milk is more guilt-free than regular milk. It's filled with lots of healthy fats. And so not only is it tolerable for a dairy-free diet, it also has some health benefits that are unique to coconut. So coconut is filled with heart-healthy fats. So it goes with our heart-healthy potassium in the apricots. So we're whisking the sugar and egg yolk mixture until it thickens a little bit. Okay, and we have our mixture here warming up and infusing with the vanilla flavor. If you're using vanilla beans or any other flavor, such as, like I mentioned, rose petals or lavender flower, you can even warm it initially and then set it aside for up to overnight, so that that flavor infuses even more into the cream. So we're using raw local honey in this recipe as well. It is going to get cooked, but the benefits of using raw local honey in any cooking is that it has protections against pollen allergies from the plants that are near where you live. So, and raw honey has those allergy protecting properties preserved. So that's why it's important to use raw local honey whenever possible. And it's also important to use organic honey because bees are just vital to our food system, to the biodiversity of fruits and vegetables that we have available to us. And without bees, we would have a fraction of the produce that we currently eat and enjoy. So please remember that as you're choosing fruits, vegetables, and honey, to make sure that you keep the bees in mind because we need them to survive and to thrive. So I can see the steam rising from this mixture right now, and that's how I know that it's ready. It's about to simmer, but it's not yet boiling. So what I'm going to do is remove it from the heat and strain out the vanilla bean and seeds. I can smell the vanilla infused in there. It's delicious. So now that our mixture is all strained, we are going to add it in to the egg and sugar mixture. Okay, we want to pour very slowly and mix as we're doing this to make sure that the eggs don't cook prematurely. So now it's ready to be added into our ramekins. Our ramekins are in a baking dish with a moistened towel on top of the moistened towel. And we're adding half of the creme brulee mixture into each ramekin. Okay, and now we have our water that's been boiling over here. And we're pouring the water into the baking dish till about halfway up the sides of the ramekins. Okay. Now that our creme brulee is ready to go in the oven at 300 degrees for 30 to 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how to finish off our delicious guilt-free pork. So I'm going to show you how to finish off these pork cutlets. They've been marinating in the marinade we made earlier, and I have a tablespoon of oil preheated at medium-high heat. And we're just going to quickly cook them a couple of minutes on each side in medium-high heat. So again, pork is an excellent source of vitamin A, which is good for bones, teeth, skin, and vision. We also have our apricot glaze. That is an excellent source of potassium, which is amazing for heart health, as well as muscular health and skeletal health. And we have our turmeric, which is anti-inflammatory. So this is a very healthy meal and really rich in flavors as well. So we're going to go ahead and turn it over to the other side. And now we're going to let this cook for another 2 minutes on this side. And we're ready to take them out of the pan. Delicious. So now that our pork cutlets are finished, we're going to go get our creme brulee out of the oven and finish off our heart-healthy, guilt-free meal. So today we made this delicious turmeric and apricot glazed pork, this root vegetable salad, also with apricots, and we made a delicious dairy-free creme brulee, which I finished off after baking in the oven by broiling it and by sprinkling brown sugar and broiling it for another minute. This will make an excellent meal for someone you love on a special occasion. All of it is heart healthy and bone healthy. You can check out the full recipes on sashasguiltfreepleasures.com, and remember, it's always a pleasure to eat guilt-free. See you next time.